Hello, welcome to this update. Let's see what's happening with Debby. It just made landfall right now as I make this video. It just made landfall there in the Big Bend. So let's see what we currently have. We still have the storm surge, about 6 to 10 feet, still happening there. And around Central Florida, to reach 5 feet, 4 to 6 feet further north, and 2 to 4 feet forecasted in Georgia and South Carolina, and 1 to 3 feet further south in Florida. Let's see, potential historic rainfall across southeast Georgia and coastal plain of South Carolina through Saturday morning will likely result in catastrophic flooding. Heavy rainfall will likely result in considerable flooding impacts from portions of central and northern Florida and across parts of central and northeastern North Carolina through Saturday morning. There is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along portions of the Gulf Coast, 6 to 10 feet of inundation above the ground expected between Oconechonee River and Yakni Town. Through the morning, residents in storm surge warning areas should follow any advice given by local officials. Hurricane conditions are already happening this morning along portions of the Florida Big Bend, where hurricane warning is in effect. Tropical storm conditions are expected to continue 7 more hours further south within the tropical storm warning area along Florida's west coast, including Tampa Bay area. Dangerous storm surge wind impacts along parts of the southeastern U.S. and northeastern Florida to North Carolina through the middle of the week. Storm surge warnings, tropical storm watches are in effect for those areas. So let's see some storm surge warnings. So we already have storm surge warnings for Georgia and South Carolina there, and storm surge warnings for Florida there, all the way down to Tampa, and some storm surge watches a little bit further down. So the rainfall expectations are still a similar thing, about 20 inches possibly in some areas of South Carolina there. So yesterday night it was lowered a little bit. They lowered it down only to 18 inches there, but looks like they upped it again to 20 inches. So let's see, about 16 to 20 inches in the dark red, much of southeastern South Carolina and Georgia, southeastern Georgia, some 12 to 16 inches for northern Florida and eastern Georgia, most of eastern South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina, including Wilmington, some 12 to 16 inches, for northern Florida, 8 to 12 inches possibly, and other parts of Florida, some 4 to 6 inches and 6 to 8 inches in the yellow and orange. So be careful there. Let's see. Alright, for North Carolina, some 8 to 12 inches and 12 to 16 inches there. And basically all of South Carolina will get rain from this, mostly in the coast there, but also further inland some more rain. So let's see. I showed you the storm surge there. Let's see. The tropical storm force winds probabilities are already 100% there as it makes landfall, and already through Georgia, 100% chance in southern Georgia of tropical storm force winds. South Carolina are already at 50 to 60%. So the hurricane force winds probabilities mainly mainly in Florida there as it makes landfall, and the 50 knot wind speed probabilities mainly in Florida, parts of coastal and southern Georgia and coastal South Carolina. So let's see the cone. So we have the hurricane warnings there, it's making landfall. The tropical storm warnings further south in Florida. We already have tropical storm warnings in Georgia and South Carolina there. So let's see some wind history. So there it turned into a hurricane very recently, and the tropical storm force wind history. Let's see now some rainfall stuff. So this is until 12Z there, but the day one outlook has a big high risk there in northern Florida, southern Georgia, and like eastern Georgia and southern South Carolina, and a moderate risk from central Florida to South Carolina, and a slight risk from Florida to South Carolina. So we also have a slight in parts of the Midwest and Northern Plains, a marginal in the Southwest, and a slight in the Northeast and a marginal. But please be careful, at least 70% chance of exceeding flash flood guidance. That is really, really dangerous. There might be some devastating flooding in those areas. Please be careful. And then for day 2, for tomorrow, we have a marginal in parts of Montana, parts of the Southwest, the Dakotas, and a slight in southern Arizona. But for tomorrow, there's still a high risk in South Carolina and Georgia there. So please continue to be careful. And the ground will already be kind of saturated in Georgia and South Carolina. So there might be some really catastrophic flooding there. So please, please be careful. Get some flood protection stuff and do what you can to stay safe. And there's this light from Florida to North Carolina, the moderate in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, northern Florida, and already they have a moderate for New Jersey and parts of Pennsylvania there in this light. So please be careful there in the mid-Atlantic too, some other storms. For day 3, another margin on the southwest, and we still have a high for day 3, so 3 days in a row of high risk. So please be careful there. Now that's for southern North Carolina and South Carolina, the high risk of excessive rainfall. So, and the ground will be already saturated and a bunch of flooding, so please be careful. That could be life threatening there, so please be careful in those areas. Let's see. Day 4, still a moderate there, South Carolina, North Carolina, and a slight, and a marginal from Florida to Massachusetts, a slight in New Mexico and Colorado, and a marginal. And day 5, there's still a slight there on the East Coast, a marginal from Florida to Maine, and a slight from South Carolina to southern Maine, and a marginal on the plains and on the west. So please, please be careful there. That can be life-threatening. The precipitation day 1 through 7, they still have close to 20 inches there, some 15, 10 inches, even 5 to 7 inches around North Carolina, Virginia some 4 to 6 inches, some areas in Florida there, and they have more rain for Colorado, the Plains and the Rockies there this week, in more areas. Let's see. Next 5 days, the European has more than 300 millimeters, but let's put this in inches. Let's see. Has more than 17 inches in parts of South Carolina, some 11 to 12 inches in Georgia. Let's see. North Carolina some 9 inches, but shows the worst around 17 inches in South Carolina. The GFS the next 5 days has the worst in Georgia, some 11 inches. Let's see. And then later in North Carolina, some 16 inches the GFS has. And the icon has the worst in South Carolina, about it's about some 16 to 17 inches there, and some 12 inches further south into Florida, some 18 inches, 11 inches, and North Carolina, 10 inches in some areas, Virginia there, and more for the Northeast. So please be careful. Let's see. Still some major heat risk in parts of the south and the west. Some extremes in the south tomorrow, Wednesday. More extreme heat risk across the south, some majors. Thursday, still some extreme heat risk in the south. Please be careful, some moderates, majors. Friday, still some extreme and majors. Saturday, still some extreme and some major heat risk. Sunday, a little bit less, but still some areas. So please be careful there. And we have some tornado watches there for the rain bands of Hurricane Debby. So please be careful. And then the day 1 outlook is a slight there in Florida to South Carolina because of the tornado potential of Hurricane Debby. 5 and 2% tornado potential there, so please be careful. And also a slight risk in Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota, and a slight risk from Michigan to Maine. So, and there's also 5% tornado potential across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, and Illinois. So be careful there too. There might be a tornado or two there, and also in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. So be careful. Hail, 5-15% in those areas, and wind, 15% in the slight risks, and 5% across the west too. So be careful there. Some general risk of thunderstorms. Let's see. Severe thunderstorms are possible today and tonight, the upper Ohio Valley to New England, across parts of the upper Midwest, from northern Florida to southern Georgia, southeast South Carolina. Be careful there. For tomorrow, another slight risk in Montana and a marginal there, marginal in southern Arizona, another marginal in Georgia, South Carolina because of Debby, and a marginal from Illinois to New York. So let's see. Tornado potential just 2% in South Carolina and Georgia because of Debby tomorrow, so be careful. Wind, 5 and 15% in all the areas, especially in the slight risk in Montana. Hail, just in Montana and Wyoming, 5 and 15%, so be aware. Let's see. Strong thunderstorms pose a risk of severe weather, may impact coastal Georgia, South Carolina, corridor across the Ohio Valley, northern Mid-Atlantic, parts of the northern Rockies, to the adjacent Great Plains and southern Arizona, Tuesday evening. So be careful there. For Tuesday, for Wednesday, there's still a marginal in North Carolina, South Carolina, and a marginal from Colorado to North Dakota. So probabilistic 5% there and there. And South Carolina, North Carolina will probably be some 2% tornado threat there still because of Debby. That might be wind and some hail. So be careful there. Let's see. Still an elevated fire threat in Idaho and northern Nevada and Oregon, and isolated dry thunderstorms possible in parts of the Rockies in the west. And tomorrow still an elevated in those same areas, and isolated dry thunderstorms possible there. So be careful with some dry thunderstorms. Let's see, some 90s and 100s in the plains today, some 90s all the way to northeast, some 100s in the southwest, and some 90s on the west. And for tomorrow, for Tuesday, show some 100s on the southwest, some 90s, 100s in the west, some 90s, 100s in the south and central areas. And for Wednesday, shows some more 100s in Texas, Oklahoma, up to 107, some 90s on the south of Florida, some 100s in the southwest and California, some 90s there. So let's see. These warnings change all the time, but we have the tornado watch there, the hurricane warnings there, the heat advisories, and the red flag warnings, the excessive heat warnings, the heat advisories there. So be careful. Some stuff in Alaska, some flood watches and some high surf there, and a wind advisory, and some small craft in parts of Hawaii. So be careful there. For Canada, for today, still shows some moderate thunderstorms possible in southern Alberta today, in parts of southwestern Saskatchewan, so be aware there. Some minor thunderstorms in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. So let's see. Too little risk, so no risk in the Northwestern Territories. Let's see. Quebec, just some minor thunderstorm risk in southern Quebec today. Atlantic Canada shows minor thunderstorm risk in parts of Labrador and moderate thunderstorm risk through Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland there. So some moderate thunderstorms possible. Be careful there. Let's see. In British Columbia, show some minor and some moderate thunderstorms possible still in southwestern British Columbia there. So this is for Monday. Yes, so some moderate thunderstorms possible there. Let's see. So be careful. who we still have some warnings there, mainly for wildfire and heat, so air quality advisories for the smoke, heat warnings through British Columbia for some very high temperatures, like in the 30s, like 32, 33, and even 34, 36 in southern British Columbia. Still in the high 20s around southern Saskatchewan and Alberta, might be low 30s. Let's see some more air quality advisories there for northern Alberta. And for today, it shows some storms possible British Columbia and Alberta there. Maybe they might add some severe possible later, but it's mainly those moderate thunderstorms for southern Alberta and British Columbia that they mentioned there, so be aware in those areas. Let's see. For Tuesday tomorrow, still some storms around southern Alberta and Saskatchewan going to Montana, so be aware there tomorrow. And through Wednesday, this is already Wednesday, already still some strong storms in southern Alberta there, and then later it calms down a little bit. Let's see. For central Canada, it shows today maybe a storm or two in Saskatchewan, northern Manitoba. That's mainly Saskatchewan. Tomorrow, Tuesday, some storms in Saskatchewan, Alberta, and southern Manitoba, into North Dakota and some areas there, into even western Ontario. And Wednesday, some more storms into western Ontario, parts of Manitoba especially, North Dakota, going to Minnesota, and some other areas there as that low pressure keeps spinning. And still some storms by Thursday and Friday in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but very little stuff. And still some storms today for Nova Scotia and Newfoundland there and Labrador, some storms. Then it shows later tonight into tomorrow the storms coming from Maine into New Brunswick and then into Nova Scotia there. So be aware there. Let's see here another model. So this is the HER for the severe weather and stuff. So it shows today lots of showers and storms in Montana there, and then especially as we go to this afternoon, the storms continue there in Minnesota, and some get stronger there. So this is by this afternoon and tonight, especially some storms in Michigan going to Ohio, in the northeast and southern Ontario there. It's a storm or two in southern Quebec. Let's see, so in South Dakota, North Dakota, there could be some stronger ones this afternoon, and to Minnesota and northern Iowa there show some stronger ones, and Hurricane Debby there making landfall. Still some rain bands posing a risk of some tornadoes in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, especially in Florida there, more those rain bands, so be careful there. And for Tuesday tomorrow, it shows those storms continuing through the Midwest. More storms tomorrow afternoon in the Great Lakes there, and in some more areas, especially Michigan to Ohio there tomorrow, and some more stuff in Montana tomorrow, Alberta and Saskatchewan. So be aware. And even this afternoon in western Mexico there, be aware. Lots of storms. So let's see some tropical stuff. So we still have this elongated area there of possible development. So it's at 30% in the next 7 days. So a tropical wave located near the Windward Islands continue to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear generally favorable for some slow development over the next week, while the system moves westward about 20 miles per hour over the Caribbean Sea. So 10 and 30% chance there. Most models have this developing the southwestern Gulf there, but I guess we'll see. So this is the European ensemble here. So that's Debby there, going away. And then some members start showing possible development in the Western Caribbean there. So this is until like by August 10th. And then let's go further. more members start showing in the Gulf, and even some stronger tropical storm hurricane members there, showing more stuff crossing the Yucatan, in the Gulf and southwestern Gulf. And let's see, let's move further. And then this crazy member keeps showing that hurricane in the Gulf there, but don't trust that. It will probably be weak in the southwestern Gulf, like those other members are showing, if it even develops, because we don't know. And let's see. And out there in the Atlantic, we start getting signals for another tropical wave, like after this one, we might have another wave there trying to develop. So let's see a little bit further. So these members keep showing the system there. Some get stronger as a strong tropical storm in the southwestern Gulf there. And then that new system comes, most members curve it north. But there's a lot of support there, that there's like a lot of members there showing development from this next wave coming. So there's this first one, potentially forming the Gulf, that's this yellow area. And there's that tropical wave coming after this one, that they might add another yellow area here in the next coming days for that one, because the Euro is more excited about that next feature too. So let's see until the end here. So it shows that system there and possibly the one in the Gulf. And the GFS ensembles 240 hours, it shows very little support for that other system, so just the Europeans excited about that one. It shows maybe some members showing something, but the GFS has more support for that Gulf system coming after Debby, so that yellow area we have now. And it forms this even before it gets to the Gulf in the southwestern Caribbean. Some members try to form this tropical depression, tropical storm there, and some even take it to Florida, but I doubt it will go there. You probably just try to go towards the Gulf. But there's still not many members showing, just some there, but we could have something. You never know. So let's see here some forecast models. So it shows Hurricane Debby there, and then that other tropical wave with the GFS, it tries to form in the southwestern Caribbean, brings more rain to Central America, then it crosses into the Gulf, tries to form as it gets to Texas, but I think it's a little too strong there, but that's like a tropical storm strength, so the GFS has this going to Texas. The European 0Z has, wait, has the tropical wave there. It tries to form the southwestern Gulf, but not really. And then later, let's see if it gets to the Gulf of Mexico. Not really. So just the operational European just tries to form it there, but not much. So the next system has the tropical wave coming there, trying to form near the Caribbean, but the operational model is still not catching on development, just the ensembles. So the Canadian shows Debby and shows this other system trying to form in the southwestern Gulf, potentially getting to tropical depression or something, crossing to the Gulf of Mexico and trying to form there, but not really. And the next system coming there still doesn't show anything. So yeah, we'll keep monitoring it. And the central eastern, oh my gosh, so now we have three tropical storms in the eastern Pacific there. So Emilia formed like yesterday or before yesterday, and there's Carlotta and Daniel, so there's three tropical storms there in the Pacific now, in the eastern Pacific, so it's very busy there. Then we have another red area for potential development, so 90% chance in the next 2 days and 7 days. So I think this might form in the next day or so. So if this does, we'll have 4 systems active there. So let's see here. Carlotta is like a tropical storm, and then it might die soon there. Uh, Daniel is a tropical storm and might go up north and then die later. And recently formed Emilia is a tropical storm, might remain a tropical storm and die by Friday. so no threats to land there. So let's see, just some rainfall forecast for the Caribbean because of that tropical wave there. So the satellite shows some showers and thunderstorms entering the Caribbean from the tropical wave there. And then it shows those showers and thunderstorms there today. So be aware, this is nothing crazy, but some showers and storms can pose some isolated flash floods in some low-lying areas and some lightning and gusty winds. So be aware. And it keeps going there mainly today, but by tomorrow it already goes into the Caribbean. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, there might still be some lingering shower or isolated thunderstorm, but it's mainly today there. So today is Monday, August 5th. So it shows the rain accumulation the next 24 hours, some there from those showers and storms. So about, why is this in inches? So settings. So it shows about 28 to 30 millimeters in Barbados, so some are passing showers and storms there, but most of it already passed. But there might be still some showers or storms, some 16 millimeters in other areas, 35 millimeters. So in the next 3 days it gets a little bit higher. Some, let's see, some 30 millimeters, 28, 35 millimeters there. Barbados around 30 millimeters, 26 millimeters, so some more passing showers and thunderstorms. Some showers in Puerto Rico, northeastern Caribbean shower or two, maybe a thunderstorm or two in Puerto Rico. It shows even some rain for the ABC Islands there, so some 23 millimeters. Let's see, I think it's these ones here, 9 millimeters, 12 millimeters, yeah. So might be some showers there. More rain Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama, some more daytime thunderstorms there. Guatemala, more rain in western Mexico, more thunderstorms through southern western Mexico there. Next 5 days, a little bit more in western Mexico, and already more in Costa Rica and Panama, some higher accumulations there. So be careful in those areas with some stronger thunderstorms. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, some 70 millimeters. Guatemala and El Salvador, some 60 millimeters in some areas. Southern Belize shows more there. And let's see, shows more in Cuba the next 5 days. Mainly some showers, maybe some evening thunderstorms. Some more in Jamaica, there might be some showers and a storm or two. The Dominican Republic, some daytime thunderstorms. And some showers in Haiti too, a storm or two. Some showers in the Turks and Caicos, but not much. And more rain in the Bahamas, maybe some storms. So North and South America, and this is mainly it. So be aware there. Some thunderstorms in Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Central America. So yeah, this is mainly it. So stay safe.